Well, what a setting for a final of a Junior World Championship here at Newlands, one of the oldest Test rugby stadiums in the world. It first had an international game in 1891 between the British Lions and South Africa. Well, we've seen some tremendous action here in this stadium, and of course we saw the turnaround really of New Zealand after that wake-up call losing to Wales. Then they play them again and they looked a different side then.
Yeah, better composure. I think that they played the tactics right. You know, the match they lost, by 3 points was in terrible conditions at Stellenbosch, and they never really had a plan B. They tried to outmuscle the Welsh, and the Welsh on that particular day were fantastic. Tremendous defence. But on this occasion, on a drier ground, and with the New Zealanders able to exert their skills, but it took 37 minutes really before they broke the Welsh back, and 6-6 heading into the break, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Tupou scores a try, and then from there they just seemed to gain momentum, scoring straight after the break as well. And that's what they did, and I think that broke the spirit of the Welsh team, and they never really looked like they were in the game again. A couple of standout players for me. I thought that Ihaya West, he controlled the game really well. I thought that the options and his kicking options as well were first class. And Jordan Taufua is another guy that I think really had to step up, because prior to that particular semi-finals, I've been very disappointed with the New Zealand performance. I thought that they've looked lethargic. I thought that at times they've looked unfit. And also I haven't seen a game pattern, but that certainly has turned around. I know, talking with the coach Rob Penny, that he put a lot of responsibility back on the shoulders of the young guys to make the decisions and make the changes. It obviously worked, and so that's why they did make it through to their 5th final. But for you, Nigel, you called the game between South Africa and Argentina in front of a very good crowd, and it appeared that the 20,000 got value for money.
There was never any doubt in that outcome. From the start they were on top, and the discipline up front, the better line out, the better scrummage, because I thought Argentina would give them a real tough time, but they didn't. And the driving maul never seemed to come from Argentina, which we expected. And then, the brilliance of players which I hadn't seen before. Raymond Rule coming on, absolutely exciting. I think Serfontaine runs the whole show. And this 18-year-old fly half, Henry Pollard, I thought his distribution, his variation of tactics and so on was brilliant. And if they can produce that kind of smooth, brilliant attacking attitudes throughout the game, I think they're going to give New Zealand a game and a half. Well, unlike any other IRB Junior World Championship, we've seen the finalists both lose a game. Never happened before at all. I just wonder if it wasn't sort of a kick up the backside for both of them. Do you think they're now suddenly restored the confidence and the teamwork which was lacking early on?
Yeah, it's interesting, because I think that it's the wake-up call that both teams needed. I think that when the tournament started and Ireland upset the favourites and the home nation, I think that people thought, geez, are they going to qualify? It's the pool of death with England in there as well. But they seemed to turn that around. And New Zealand, well, it wasn't great conditions against Wales. I think they always believed that because they had scored enough points against Fiji and Samoa that they would qualify in that 4th position. But finals rugby is a totally different proposition. Forget about what's happened over the last 2.5 weeks. They come into this game, and New Zealand, post the haka, need to switch on, because they're not going to outmuscle or outpassion the South Africans. So that's what I think New Zealand have to do. But I can't wait. I think it's going to be a fantastic contest.
Well, I have a feeling South Africa might do it, not just because it's at home, but I think the confidence has come, which was lacking in the earlier part of the tournament. They've got one big setback, which is the absence of William Small-Smith. The ligaments in his knee. He's going to be out for 3 months. That's really bad luck. Back row is terrific. That's going to be a wonderful battle, isn't it, between the New Zealand back row and the South African one. They've got wonderful runners out on the wings. This guy Rule could, he could rule the game, couldn't he, in the end? But I think it's going to be so much closer and so much more exciting than any final we've had before. And New Zealand, 4 wins in a row, 4 tournaments, they've won them all. They've lost a game now. They could lose a second one here.